You just watched China build a rare earth monopoly. 30 years, mine by mine, refinery by refinery, export control by export control. A weapon built in plain sight. And if you think rare earths were the only one, you're looking at the wrong mineral. Lithium, the element that powers every electric vehicle, every grid-scale battery, every device in your hand. China just locked it down, not in 30 years, in 10. And nobody noticed, because while the world was watching rare earths, China was running the exact same playbook on lithium. Same game. Faster clock, higher stakes. There is a place on Earth that holds more than half of the world's lithium. It is not China. It is a triangle of salt flats spanning 3 South American countries: Argentina, Bolivia, Chile. The Lithium Triangle. 60% of the known global lithium reserves. 60%. That is more lithium than the Middle East has oil in proportional terms. And every battery, every electric vehicle, every energy storage system the world is building to decarbonize, it runs on what comes out of this triangle. Now ask yourself a question. If one country secured control of 60% of the world's oil refining, what would you call that? A monopoly, a strategic threat, a national security crisis. Now ask yourself another question. What do you call it when one country is on track to control 81% of the world's lithium refining by 2027? Here is the playbook. Step 1. Buy the best deposit. In 2018, Tianqi Lithium, a Chinese state-backed firm, acquired 23% of Chile's Sociedad Química y Minera, SQM, the operator of the Salar de Atacama, the single highest-grade lithium deposit on Earth. $4 billion. One transaction. Beijing now had substantial influence over the best lithium in the world. Step 2. Buy the neighbors. Ganfeng Lithium, another Chinese giant. $960 million. Argentina's Pastos Grandes project, 2022. Contemporary Amperex Technology, CATL, the largest battery manufacturer in the world. $1 billion. Bolivia's direct lithium extraction plants, 2023. Argentina, Bolivia, Chile. 3 countries, 1 triangle, 3 deals. All Chinese. Step 3. Build the infrastructure. This is Chancay Port, Peru. Opened November 2024. Xi Jinping personally attended the inauguration. A $1.3 billion deepwater megaport, built by China, operated by China's COSCO Shipping, capable of handling the largest container ships on Earth. And here is what it does. It takes lithium from the triangle and cuts the shipping time to Shanghai by 10 days. 10 days. That is not port efficiency. That is logistics warfare. A dedicated maritime corridor. Raw lithium out of South America. Processed lithium into China. And China does not just mine lithium. China refines it. China processes it. China turns it into batteries, and then sells those batteries back to the world. The port is not an investment. The port is an artery, and China built it. Let the numbers settle. China currently controls over 60% of global lithium refining capacity. By 2027, next year, that number is projected to reach 81%. 81. And that is just refining. By 2027, Chinese entities will also control 50% of total global lithium production. Half. Every single lithium-ion battery on Earth. Half of the raw material will flow through Chinese-controlled operations. And 81% of the processing that turns raw material into usable product? Chinese. The International Energy Agency studied 20 critical minerals. China is the dominant refiner in 19 of them. 19 out of 20. Lithium is not the exception. Lithium is the confirmation. The system works. China just ran it again, faster. And the West? The West is doing exactly what it did with rare earths, reacting. February 2026. 55 countries. A critical minerals summit. A trade bloc. A minerals security partnership. Project Vault. $12 billion for a national critical minerals reserve. The EU passed a Critical Raw Materials Act. No single non-EU country can supply more than 65% of any critical mineral. These are good ideas. They are also late. A lithium mine takes 7 to 10 years from discovery to production. A lithium processing facility takes 3 to 5 years. Integrated mine-to-battery manufacturing takes a decade minimum. Every Western initiative announced in 2025 and 2026 will start producing meaningful output in the 2030s. By then, China will have spent 15 years refining lithium, 15 years of operational experience, 15 years of cost optimization, 15 years of locked-in supply agreements. The West is not catching up to a stationary target. It is chasing a moving one, and the target is accelerating. Here is the difference between rare earths and lithium. Rare earths took 30 years. China experimented, made mistakes, absorbed environmental costs, learned how to separate 17 nearly identical elements at industrial scale. It took decades. Lithium is taking 10 years, because this time China knew the playbook before it started. Acquire the best deposits. Build the processing infrastructure. Construct the logistics corridors. Lock in long-term supply contracts. Weaponized strategically, not all at once. Selective pressure, gradual tightening, plausible deniability. And by the time the world notices, the monopoly is already operational. 8. China is not threatening to control lithium. It already does. The 81% figure is a forecast, but the architecture is already built. The mines are acquired, the ports are operating, the processing plants are running. The only thing left is the final consolidation, and that is happening right now. While the headlines are about rare earths, everyone asks the wrong question about lithium. Will China weaponize the lithium supply chain? That question is wrong for the same reason the rare earth question was wrong. It assumes future tense. It assumes a decision that hasn't been made. It assumes the West has time. China does not need to weaponize lithium later. It needed to control lithium now, and it does. The weapon is not an export ban. The weapon is structural dependency, built over 10 years, embedded in contracts, hardwired into logistics. Unwinding it will take longer than building it did, and zero Western governments have a plan for that. China spent 30 years learning how to monopolize a mineral. It spent 10 years applying what it learned to lithium. And the next mineral? The next one will take 5. Because the playbook is refined, the infrastructure is built, the capital is deployed, and the world is still reading yesterday's headlines. Now you know. Subscribe. Share this. This is episode 3 of the series. Episode 1 showed you the rare earth weapon. Episode 2 showed you why the West's response is too slow. This episode showed you the same playbook running faster on a different mineral.